Russia reiterates Putin's recent warning against a nuclear conflict. Is it possible that Putin and other elites in the Kremlin have been reading the new book titled Exposing Putin's Lies? In Chapter 14, page 132, the book states, "So no matter how you analyze it, and whatever the ensuing ramifications of a nuclear war would be, it is best to avoid one altogether. The best way to prevent a nuclear war is to stop threatening others with it." Apparently, Putin and other top Russians are starting to heed that advice. Now the next step is for them to withdraw from Ukraine and end their invasion. After that, they can start to pay reparations for the massive amounts of damage they have caused. Tuesday saw a Russian official reiterating President Vladimir Putin's new line that a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought, reversing his earlier threat that Russia is a potent nuclear power, and any attempt to meddle would have consequences you have never seen. This appears to be an effort to distance Russia from Putin's earlier warning, following the invasion of Ukraine. After Putin's remark, tensions around the world soared sharply, and a few days later, he ordered the Russian nuclear forces to go on high alert. Putin's warning against nuclear war was read aloud to conference attendees by Igor Vishnevetsky, deputy director of the Russian Foreign Ministry's Non-Proliferation and Arms Control Program, to introduce his nation's speech at the pandemic-delayed conference to review the 50-year-old Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Later, he said the exact same thing. In his opening remarks on Monday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken referred to Putin's warnings following the invasion of Ukraine as reckless, irresponsible nuclear saber-rattling. "We will have to wait and see what effect Putin's new commitment has." Mykola Tokitsky, the deputy foreign minister of Ukraine, stated during the high-level meeting on Monday that Putin's explicit threats to use nuclear weapons against the rest of the globe were supported by obvious urges to do so by the Russian official media. In the current conflict with Ukraine, academics and think tanks disagree on whether Russia will use tactical or strategic nuclear weapons, he added. Vishnevetsky defended Russia's military action in Ukraine by pointing to an expanding NATO, which he claimed was pressuring Moscow to defend its fundamental security interests by seeking undivided military, strategic, and geopolitical dominance. He claimed that Russia has been the target of a hybrid military operation, dangerously poised to descend into a direct armed clash between nuclear powers. Additionally, the weapons control system, which has historically been a crucial cornerstone of global security and stability, is today dealing with a crisis of unprecedented scope. The warning and action Putin took after invading Ukraine were not mentioned by Vishnevetsky, but he did say that given the current circumstances, it is more important than ever that the nuclear powers act with caution and responsibility. The five nuclear powers, Russia, the United States, China, Britain, and France, reiterated in a joint statement from January that a nuclear war should never be waged and cannot be won, and they stressed the need to prevent not only a nuclear confrontation, but also any military confrontation between nuclear powers. The Russian official stated that it is essential that all signatories demonstrate in deeds their commitment to these rules. The NPT, which is regarded as the cornerstone of global disarmament efforts, will be strengthened as a result of the review meeting, which concludes on August 26. With 191 signatories to the treaty, it has the broadest support of any arms control accord and aims to stop the spread of nuclear weapons and eventually create a world free of them. The five original nuclear countries agreed to the NPT's provisions to negotiate the eventual elimination of their nuclear arsenals, and the non-nuclear states pledged not to get them in exchange for the assurance of being permitted to utilize nuclear energy for peaceful reasons. The NPT is seriously stretched and even faces new and the most severe challenges since the end of the Cold War, according to Chinese Ambassador Fu Song, head of the Foreign Ministry's Arms Control Division. His nation has strong links to Russia. He referred to a deteriorating global strategic security environment, the outmoded approach to security, centered on military alliances, and the rising risk of an arms race and conflicts, in saying that the ghost of Cold War mindset is there to stay. The 5 nuclear powers were urged by Fu to cooperate to reduce nuclear risks, intensify communications on strategic stability, and conduct in-depth dialogue on reducing the role of nuclear weapons in their national security doctrines, and on a broad range of issues such as missile defense, outer space, cyberspace, and artificial intelligence. America's top diplomat Blinken stated on Monday that in reaction to Russia's activities, the U.S. decided to behave with moderation and steer clear of anything that would unnecessarily escalate nuclear tensions. He cited the United States' decision to cancel previously scheduled IBMT tests and its decision not to increase the alert level of its nuclear forces as 2 examples. Nuclear deterrence, based on force, intimidation, or blackmail, has no place in our world, according to Blinken. In rejecting this, we must stand together. At the opening of the UN General Assembly on Monday, Antonio Guterres raised the alarm about the conflict in Ukraine, the Middle East nuclear threat, and other concerns, saying that humanity is just one mistake, one error away from catastrophic devastation. All NPT nuclear weapon states should abide by a set of principles and best practices, according to Blinken, including that every effort needs to be taken to ensure that nuclear weapons are not deployed again.